I'm your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I had to reach you this afternoon from my workplace. I don't know who is with me live, but I want you to join me live. Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. The last time I spoke with you, I was at Port Harcourt, and today I am at Okwokoko. September 12th, 2022 marks a glorious day in the life of my ministry, because today we started school at Okwokoko. This is our bookshop, and I'm here in the bookshop. One of the things you will notice in this bookshop is that the shelves are tiled. They are made up of concrete and tiled because of durability. I want you to invite somebody to come and join us before we start the main topic. Invite somebody to join us. When we reach a certain number, then I can start what I want to share with you. So, my wife is at Ugili with my daughter, Mrs. Chidinma Uda. And that side is so busy, very busy. I was told it was like a market, and a lot of people are patronizing this school. But thank God. The traffic here has been quite okay, but it's not as much as Ugili. But it is far better than what it was when we started at Ugili. At Ugili, we started with 5 pupils, including Apoki, who has rounded up his master's program in Europe. So don't be afraid to start small. Don't be afraid to start small. Don't be afraid to start small. Most people always think that they must start big. That's why a lot of people never start. Don't ever be afraid to start small. Brendo, my brother, don't be afraid to start small. My wife has a philosophy that it is only what is started that is completed. That the best way to start is to start. And this place used to be my mother-in-law's cassava farm. Good afternoon, my brother, Monye Lewis. This place used to be my mother-in-law's cassava farm. We came to do cassava here when we were... Oh, you are watching from Gabon, Nixon. Oh, I'm so glad, so glad, so glad. One of the days you will organize a program, and I'll come to Gabon to speak to our people. So, this place used to be my mother-in-law's cassava farm. When we left Aba and we came here, they used to make fun of us when my wife would come and do Gary. Festus, good afternoon. They will say that those who went to school are the ones now doing Gary. But today it's a beautiful edifice. I hope I will be able to show you the beauty of this place later. Festus, thank you from Torino in Italy. Thank you so much. So people might make mockery of you, but don't mind. Face your life. I had to go to Port Harcourt, but I made sure I was here very early this morning. One of the things you must learn about life, in as much as you contribute towards building other people's ministries and lives, try and build your own life. There's a key passage in the Bible. According to Jacob, he told Laban that When can I build my own family? When can I have my own? When can I work for my own family? So he said he had to negotiate and start building his own life. You can't work for people throughout life without building your own life. As I went to preach, they put me in a good hotel, gave me good honorarium, but I had to come back here this early morning. I came from Port Harcourt yesterday. This early morning, came back here, resumed work, and I've been attending to parents. So, don't work for people, don't contribute to people's lives without thinking of your own. You must build your own base. In 7 years' time from now, I'll be 70 years. If I didn't start thinking well at the age of 40 to lay down some of the things that I now fall back on, it will have been disastrous. So in as much as you are living in Europe, in as much as you are working in a big company, in as much as you are working in a bank, in as much as you are a personal assistant to a big politician, try as much as possible to create something that you can fall back on when you get older. Thank you. You are watching from Dubai. Thank you so much. Today, because we have reached a certain number, we are 24 now. Please invite more people before I start the lecture proper. So, I want to go for family planning with a gynecologist. Please, which one will you prefer to advise me to do? Please meet the gynecologist. He will examine you and determine what is right for you. From Ghana, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in from Ghana. I'm so glad. I enjoyed the nkrakra soup when I came to Ghana. Nkrakra soup, very nice soup. And your chocolate. So, I want to look at living in your own reality. Living in your own reality. And I'll take my bearing from 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 33 to verse 35. When David saw Goliath insulting the army of the nation of Israel, David opted to go and confront Goliath. And Saul wore David a helmet, wore him an armor, and thank you from UAE, wore him an armor, and David said, I cannot go in these ones. I am not used to them. The helmet is the philosophy of Saul. Philosophy of Saul. It was a helmet of brass. So, why was Goliath giving David his own armor when he was afraid? He was afraid to go and fight Goliath. If Saul was wearing David his armor, his helmet, if the helmet and the armor were very effective, why did he not wear them to go and fight Goliath? Brendo Victor. Why did he not wear them to go and fight Goliath? David rejected the armor of David rejected the armor of Saul. He said, I am not used to these things. Now, don't live with another person's philosophies blindly. Don't live according to another person's philosophies blindly. You don't just copy somebody, Brendo, my brother. You don't just copy somebody's philosophies blindly. There are peculiarities concerning you. You don't live, just copy somebody's philosophies blindly. No, 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 no. Number one, don't live with another man's plans. Learn to plan for yourself. Because if the person changes his plans, it might catch you unawares. Don't live according to another person's principles. The principles he has cultivated are based on what he has experienced in life, what has worked for him. Now, you must evaluate every principle with your own reality. Your own reality is very important. Somebody came to my house, saw my small television in my house. This television is too small. Change it. Change the television at that time was not my priority. In the building just across here now, I have eventually put a very big television. That television at that time was not my reality. I needed to invest that money on something tangible. Oh, I have a friend, Comfort. When I was entering buses from Eleme Junction to Aba, I will sit four of us will sit behind. Compress me, medical doctor, guest preacher. That was my reality. But I had a friend who would come with airport taxi. We chartered the taxi, 2,500. For me then, 150 naira was my reality. That was what I was able to pay. Thank you all the way from Iede. That was what I was able to pay. So I will not copy another man's philosophy, another man's principles, another man's plan blindly. I always evaluate everything with my own realities. And so even me, Dr. Apoki, don't just copy me blindly, because I can change my plans and I will not inform you before I change my plans. Just follow the major guidelines, the principles of life. There is a midline, a little to the left, a little to the right, but there is a midline that is useful. Follow that one. When I wanted to have a global family, I wanted my children to school overseas. I could not afford the United States. I could not afford the UK. I could afford Eastern Europe, Romania. It was easy for my children to enter. It was easy for me to pay the fees then. And after the first one graduated, he took his younger brothers to join. And from there, he went to Central Europe and is in Germany now. He could not have gone to Germany direct. I could not have afforded it. I would not have had the account statement that will necessitate he's going to America, he's going to Germany or UK. But I passed through another road that was easier, that was cheaper. So you don't just follow people blindly. Your friend's son is in the UK. Then you just send them to the UK. No. Your friend's son is in Canada. You just send them to Canada. No. Is that your reality? The reality might be that your child can school in Nigeria first. Don't send children to schools that you cannot afford. Is that your reality? Good education. Good education is very good. When you send your children to the schools that elite children attend, they are likely to also meet with elite children, get elite friends, get network, because your network is your net worth. True. But you can go to a cheaper school, excel in life, and from the National Youth Service, from your work experience, from the church, by your talent, by your performance, and the platforms that you pray for that are provided for you, you can form a network that is different from going to Corona School in Lagos. So you don't just take principles and swallow them hook, line, and sinker. I always evaluate everything. Now, somebody canceled me that I must have a church base to be able to do well in ministry. And I followed blindly. I started a church ministry, but it did not do well. The members nearly killed me. The frustration nearly killed me. I found out that it was not in my nature to be able to share what I'm sharing with you online now with people in the locality where I was doing ministry. In the locality where I was doing ministry, the problems the people had were problems of demons, witches, wizards, home trouble, coven, and that was not my ministry. So I was talking above their heads. And I had to close down the church. I told them not to come again. They still came. So I handed the church over to the parent body, Church of God Mission, where I started my Christian race. Today, I am an honorary usher in my church, an auxiliary one. I have a pastor that pastors me. But I am doing well without running a church. So I didn't need to run a church. So there are many people stagnated in this church ministry, frozen. My mates were able to go overseas. They were wiser than I was. They were able to go overseas. I couldn't go. Secondly, because my parents were old and I didn't want to leave my parents to die in suffering and pain. So I needed to stay with them. And that was my reality. I could not leave my parents. But I created another reality. I said, I will work so hard in this country, do so well in this country, that I will not be intimidated by the successes of any of my classmates from overseas. So when I was living a very frugal life, doing menial jobs, working very hard to lift myself from poverty, people did not understand my reality. That was my reality. And the principles that took my friends to America, the UK, and all over the world are good principles. They are good plans. They are good philosophies. But it did not fit the reality of my situation. Same thing with marriage. You don't marry your wife according to what somebody wrote somewhere. You marry your wife according to the reality on ground. If your wife is a better manager of resources than you, let her manage the resources. If your wife is a calmer person than you and is able to have better interpersonal relationship with people, let her be the front runner of the family. Let her be the one that interacts with people. That is the reality. Like this place, my wife is a better builder than I am. So she builds these places. She manages money better than I do. So she manages resources. I am a better speaker than her. So I do the preaching. So that's the reality. Another person's husband can cook for the wife. Me, I don't know how to cook. If I cook, it's like a chemical reaction. The precipitate will be different and the solution will be different. So the reality is that I don't know how to cook. So the reality is that I don't have a good memory. So I can't reel out information like Peter Obi. So I have a note in my front that I read from. I'm not an intelligent person. So when I prepare for examinations, I read them over and over and over. Celestina, thank you so much. I read things over and over before I understand. I don't understand easily. I learn slowly. And so because I learn slowly, I deliberately take my time to go over something again and again. What I am sharing with you, I got the inspiration as I was driving down this morning at Agbaro. But I had meditated upon it, written it down here, cross-checked my Bible, ruminated over it before I'm sharing it with you. Because I'm not an intelligent person. I might be knowledgeable, but the wisdom is that I go over something again and again. Osayo Gaga Brendo. So that's my reality. The reality is that my handwriting is very bad. It might look beautiful, but I can't read what I have written. So I write with capital letters. That is my reality. My reality is that I don't have brother, I don't have sister. So there are risks I don't take. I can't do mountain climbing. I can't do diving. If I die inside, finish. There's no person left. There are things, risks I can't take now. So you must face your reality. The pathway, I wrote here that you must evaluate every principle, every counsel, everything you see based on your reality. David Oyedepo's reality is different from my reality. Ebiyomi's reality is different from my own reality. A Yoruba pastor's reality is different from my own reality. A Yoruba pastor will have his fellow Yoruba people patronize him. They are more submissive to him. They will most likely will celebrate him more than my own people. More than my own people. So for me to get into the limelight, I must put in extra effort. I must try as much as possible to put in more effort than the average Yoruba young man. So that is the way it is. There are some places I go to speak. I'm the only man from Urobo land that is in the billboard. I know I'm from a minority tribe. So any product I want to bring out must break the limit of tribalism, my location. That is the reality of my life. So you must walk with reality. It will surprise you to know that a great majority of my followers are from Lagos. They are based in Lagos and based overseas. Not the people within me, with me in Ugeli. You must face reality. I don't eat in public and I don't drink anything in public because I know I have many enemies. Thank you for watching from Kaduna. I have many enemies. Somebody recently said in a printing press that if he had a gun, he will shoot me because of the way I preach and what I say. That is my reality. I realized that my elder brothers were far older than I was, and they will pass away before me, and so I had to get married early. And because I needed to get married early, I needed to have children early because I needed those children to keep me company. So when my mates were going for specialist courses, I did not go. I did not go for specialization because I needed to break the yoke of poverty. If I married early, I might not have been able to face my specialist course as it would have been. And I told myself, if you read my books, Hold On to Your Vision, you can go online to my online bookshop and download Hold On to Your Vision. So, somebody's following me from Bamenda. Thank you so much. So, I decided to be a general practitioner, but I told myself I will have a son that will be a specialist. Brendo, my brother. So, that's why I trained my son, sent him overseas, and he is an orthopedic surgeon. So I try to face reality. I don't follow the crowd because, as I told you, El Nightingale said that the 5 people that will excel out of a class of 100 are people who dare to think for themselves. So, reality. So you must face your own reality. You are very unique in God's plan. You are very unique in God's plan. Chris Oyakilome is very unique in God's plan. Archbishop Benson Idahosa, our father in the Lord, very unique in God's plan. Thank you from the UK. Thank you so much. So, I tried as much as possible to identify my own relationship with God and the plan He has for me and what I think I should be doing in His kingdom. So, I don't live according to other people's realities. So, I have never been to America. I have never been to America. I hope that you will invite me. I have never been to the UK. Because my own reality then was that the money I will use to buy tickets to fly to the United States and start going around churches to preach, hoping to bring money back to Nigeria. If I stayed in Nigeria and did what I was doing well, I will get that same money at a cheaper cost, and I will be with my family, and I will invest it here. I was to speak to the Robo Progress Union in America, and I calculated the reality. I'll pay for visa, buy tickets, go and speak for one day in the Robo Progress Union, and maybe come back empty-handed. So what did I do? I stayed behind in Nigeria. I preached at Aba, preached at Port Harcourt, preached at LMM, went to Nsukka, preached in Nnamdi Azikiwe's Church, St. John's. I got home with $500,000 naira in my hand. That was what I used to deck the building I was building then. There are people who have gone to the United States, gone to several countries. They don't have anything to show on ground. I am not making mockery of them, but my reality was that it was not the number of countries I traveled to or the buildings I saw in New York. How many of my children have I sent to the United States? I've sent 2 of my children to work in the United States, to Massachusetts, to work. So they've been there. I'm going to have grandchildren born there. My future was what was more, but I needed to create the reality on ground that would enable me do that for them. Because I saw them as missiles. My children, like I said, they are arrows in the hands of a righteous man. I wanted to shoot them further than where I am today. But that was my reality. And I lived according to my reality. What is your own reality? Are you spending money like somebody whose father built buildings, has several assets, who has elder brothers and sisters that can help him, and you are from a poor family? Are you spending your money on fashion and all kinds of stuff, and you don't have anything? Ugeli was my reality. I couldn't have stayed in Warri to rent accommodation, to get a hall to do ministry at Warri, to do what I am doing now. It's this land, when I bought it here, it was 150,000. Today it's about 30-something million, and I've sold from it. I could not have afforded it as at then, but it was a rural suburban area. And so I found out that because my muscles were not strong financially, I needed to be in the suburban economy. You see, if you cannot sweeten a jug of tea, fall into a teacup. If you can sweeten a teacup, fall into a teacup and sweeten that teacup, instead of going to carry a load that is bigger than you, that you cannot effectively do. That is the reality. So I faced my reality. I don't live my life to impress people. So the next thing is that find out how God works with you and what fits your personality and purpose. Find out how God works with you and what fits your personality and purpose. I don't like stress. So if, assuming I was practicing medicine till this age, I will be in the hospital, they will call me at night. No. I will die prematurely. I like to go to work at my pace. I like to do things at my own pace. I don't compete. I don't play games like table tennis. Face me, I face you, no. Lawn tennis, no. I don't play draft. I don't play chess. I don't like contention. If it is football, yes, so 11 of us are in the field with another 11 people. We are running up and down. I don't compete with people. I don't know how to contend. I don't know how to contest. I go at my own pace. Be going, I am coming. There are many roads to reach Lagos and many ways to reach Lagos. You can come from Abeokuta axis. You can come from Ekpe axis. You can come from Okokomaiko axis. You can come from Ikorodu. You can come from several axes to reach Lagos. You can come by air. You can come by road. You can come with a tipper. You can come with a trailer. You can come with motorbike. You can come with bicycle. The most important thing is to reach your destination. Is to reach your destination. So, I don't work under pressure. I don't like people putting me under pressure. I work at my own pace, what fits me, what suits me, and the way God has been working with me. I don't rush, I don't struggle, I don't contend, I don't contest. Now, many people prescribe medicines for illnesses that they have not suffered or experienced. Some of these so-called consultants, some of us pastors, some of us preachers, you are telling me that you want to teach me about prosperity. Have you done a business before? You have not managed a business and you have written a book, 15 ways of how to make money. You have not, you don't have 1 million naira in your account. You have not made money before. You want to teach me 15 ways of how to magnate money or how to make money. A young man came to my office. He just did his face as if he was very spiritual. Very spiritual. I said, okay, what do you want? He said, the Lord sent me to you. Yes, what did the Lord say I should tell you? He said, the Lord said you should buy Goya oil that he wants. I said, what do you want? Will I use Goya oil for? He said, the Lord said I should pray for the oil so that he can prosper you. I said, looking at you and looking at me, who needs prosperity more? You need prosperity more than me. I should go and buy Goya oil made by an Indian or one person. Then you will not pray for the oil. That is what will prosper me. He said, yes. I said, tell me the truth. You need some money. He said, yes, I need some money. And you should have told me that you needed some money instead of coming with the prophetic style. I gave him money. I tell my friend, what you need from me is for me to mentor you, not for you to come and tell me that God sent you to buy Goya oil. I should buy Goya oil and you will pray for it. No. I don't let somebody's prophecy to determine my life. There are relationships I have with God. He speaks to me. He will speak to me that owns this life before he speaks to you. When you run after prophets, is when you are not hearing from God, when you don't have a close relationship with God. When you have a close relationship with God, you don't need to run after prophets. He will speak to you now. How can God be speaking through another person to me when I am close to him? One day I was with my wife on bed and she woke up, she was crying. I said, what is it? He said, I dreamt that you died. I said, God has not told me that I'm going to die yet. Sleep. Dream another dream. Dream another dream. If you want to be a widow, not because of me, I'm not dying yet. I need to preach in America. I need to preach in the UK. I need to preach all over the world. So you don't just midnight prophetic prayer or one thing. No. I don't like waking up at night. I don't like waking up at night. When I sleep, it's only urine that wakes me up. That's why I don't owe banks. I'm not owing any bank. I cannot wake up at night and pray by 12 o'clock. If God is awake, how can I be awake at the same time? What kind of wahala is this? He neither sleeps nor slumber. He is watching after over me. How can I, assuming I employ security men, then I keep awake with them? God is bigger than security men. He watches over me. He cares for my needs. Why will I wake up 12 o'clock in the night to pray? They say when the 12 o'clock is when witches are meeting. Let them meet. I have my own meeting. At least I'm meeting with you online now. I'm not seeing you physically, but you are seeing me. So the truth of the matter is that when you are confused about life, you start running from one prophet to the other. I'm surprised when you go to United States, go to overseas. I've traveled to Australia, to some other countries. Do you have a word for the Lord from me? I mean, do you have a word from the Lord for me? What did they worry you? Oyibo? Me came from Africa. I will have a word from the Lord for you. You know they get your own word. You see, these Europeans and these foreigners, sometimes they can be very confused. That's why we deceive them a lot. So you've been a Christian for years. The Lord does not speak to you? No. Now, you see, people want to preach messages they have not experienced. I can teach you how to run school because this is the third school I'm running. The first one I ran, in 2 years, it was richer than the church. In 20 years, it became one of the 50 best schools in the country. I've run a second one very successfully, I'm running this one. When I open the Polytechnic, it will run very well. You don't have any tangible experience in life. Then you want to use anointing, the basis of anointing, to teach me. No, it doesn't work. I want to see results. Most times consultants can put you into trouble. They will tell you what to do that they have not experienced. Particularly agricultural consultants. You don't have a farm, you are teaching me how to farm. If farming was very profitable and you know how to farm, why don't you manage your farm? Okay, so recently, the University College Hospital, Ibadan, where I schooled, invited President Olusegun Obasanjo to give a lecture on the management of diabetes. I left that school 38 years back. Obasanjo has been diabetic for 40 years. So if there was any person in that university who is managing diabetes or a physician, Obasanjo had diabetes because I'm 63 now. I'm supposed to have retired if I was still practicing medicine. So if any person is still practicing medicine there, I don't know if it is 70 they retire. Obasanjo had diabetes before that man left medical school. And Obasanjo has been managing diabetes, playing squash with it, became president with it, has been going around the world and is healthy. So he knows how diabetes feels in the body more than a physician. He knows how the medications work more than a physician. So Obasanjo was in a better position to lecture the consultants on diabetes than the consultant themselves, because he has a personal experience. He has managed it. He has been successful in managing it. I'm not saying we shouldn't get ideas from people who are less than us. Oh, even a madman can have a good idea. But the truth of the matter, you cannot base the whole of your existence on the philosophy, plans, attitudes, principles of one man. The woman with the issue of blood was listening to consultants, and she spent all her money treating that illness until the day she devised her own agenda. She premeditatively and intentionally touched the hem of Jesus, and Jesus said, "Power has gone out of me." And Peter said, "How can you say power has gone out of you and somebody touched you?" Jesus said, "Somebody deliberately touched me." You must deliberately find out what works for you. I don't like complicated dressing. I will not wear coral bead here on my hand, everywhere, wear one big cap. No, I feel suffocated. It's not my style. So you don't expect me to. Thank you. You are watching from France. Thank you so much. Thank you for those of you who are watching from France, Italy, Cameroon, different nations of the world. Do you know, before now, I told people at Abadan in 1998 that I will be in my office and I will be speaking to people all over the world. Chuku Prosper, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're having a nice time. I'm happy you're having a nice time. So, don't live your life according to another man's philosophy, principles. There is a way God works with you. One of the ways God works with me is that I'm relaxed in his hands. Things will eventually work out for my good. Let me tell you one thing. I don't struggle to pray. You will never hear me pray if I'm in the same house with you. Listen, if I'm going to do a program, the people I'm going to preach to, the word I'm preaching belongs to God. God loves the people more than I do. If there is a miracle, it is God's name that will be glorified. Oh, Josephine Kitchen, I hope I pronounced it well. You're watching from Netherlands. I'm so glad that. Oh, somebody is watching from Poland. Wonderful. Poland. Like Valencia. Another person is watching from Italy. This is the new world. So, I'm always relaxed in God's hand. If miracle takes place, fine. I pray for you, it works, fine. It's not my name I prayed with. I pray for you. You are healed. Fine. Thank you for watching from Lagos. I don't care. I'm very relaxed in God's hand. Another person is watching from Columbus, Ohio in the United States. Thank you so much. God bless you. So now we are about 70 people here now, watching from all over the world. So this is a church already. I don't need to start screaming and looking for how to gather people. No, this is my nature. Crown, thank you from the Philippines. Another person from Germany. Wow, this is exciting. The world is gathered in my phone. Another person from GRA on Nietzsche. That's good. Somebody is watching from Qatar, Ugochukwu. Oh, wonderful. I'm excited. So, number one, another thing I have to say, choose your pathway based on your reality. Oh, from Australia, Leo Duku. Oh, I enjoyed my stay in Australia, beautiful country. So choose your reality, your pathway based on your reality. Aipa from Germany, thank you so much. Oh, Finland, all the way from Finland, all the way from New York. This is awesome. And then somebody from Umuahia. Okay, choose your pathway based on your reality. Not necessarily your desire. Let me tell you one thing. Oh, do the job you love to do. Do the job you take place from. It's true. But you see, for me, it is not mandatory that I do what I love. It's not compulsory I do what I love. But it is mandatory for me to love what I do. So, I don't need to do what I love. But if I've seen something that works for me, it is mandatory that I love doing it. As a child was crying, the child refused to feed. This child has been living worry here to Ugeli to school, 2 of them. They've been bringing them to school in Ugeli. So when we opened this school here, they brought them here, and the child refused to feed. Oh, Peter from Japan. Wow, Japan. This is awesome. Another person from Germany, Dukuye. You must be my brother from Efruto, from Germany. That's wonderful. Petra Dukuye, that's our brand name, Petra. So, I got to the hall. The child was crying. I had to personally feed the child. Personally feed the child. When the child saw big uncle, as they call me, feeding, desiring to feed him, or feed her, she opened her mouth and ate. I gave her meat, she drank water. She would go home and say, big uncle fed me. I was using my SUV to carry school children. There was a time, there was somebody I needed to carry from Anowumiri house, Igbe house. I was the driver of the school bus. For a medical doctor to be driving school bus, it's not something exciting. But it was mandatory for me to enjoy it, carry those school children, and by driving the bus to Afesere and back, and they were seeing medical doctor driving bus to carry school children, it advertised the school. When I used the SUV to go and carry children, oh, they say that doctor that uses SUV to carry school children is that school I want to go to. Woo! This is awesome. Joshua, all the way from China. Oh, internet is exciting. See me in Okokoko, all the way from China. Woo! I'm excited. So, choose your pathway based on your own reality. I want to make some 2 powerful statements from Jeremy. Charles Adogo from Jeremy, the rugged evangelist. Thank you so much. Now, the worst person to be is who you are not designed to be. The worst person to be is trying to become who you were not designed to be. This is me. I don't need to resemble any person. I don't need to preach like any person. I don't need to dress like any person. I don't need to act like any person. I might not meet your standard, but I am God's standard for myself. I can only be improving on myself to become a better model of myself, not to become like you. I will have to destroy my person to become like you. And I don't want to destroy my person. Now, There are two situations, something you must learn. No two situations are the same. You can't step into the same river twice. If you step into a river, by the time you are going in again, that water has passed. The fish swimming there has gone. So, even if I'm giving counsel to my children, I know that the reality on ground is different. I wanted my children to get married to Nigerians. I wanted my children to do business with me here. But the reality has changed. You say you are watching from Aso Rock? Yes. Bliss George, you say you are watching from Aso Rock. I hope my hands I'm safe. Please extend this message to to Buhari. My hands are clean and I'm safe. Thank you so much. You are watching from Sapele? Okay. Now, no two realities are the same. I told my children, marry Nigerian women, come and join me to do business in Nigeria. But the reality of that time when I was giving them counsel has changed. So whoever they want to marry overseas, let them marry. They want to marry the Europeans, let them marry. My wife was very much against one of my children marrying a European. She married a European, he married a European, they gave birth to a beautiful grandchild. What my wife will do is say, I better show me that my Oyibo grand picking small. I will show her Oyibo grand picking. And I'm relaxed. No person is going to kidnap that one in Europe. No, even if Tinubu wins election, Tinubu will not rule over will not rule over him. Bandits can't kidnap him in Europe. So the reality with which I built these businesses has changed. I need to adjust. Now, my children do not need to be here to run this business with me. I can employ people. It becomes a win-win situation. I'm paying them, giving them a job to do. They are having fulfillment, working in a good environment like this. I am having fulfillment, running this business. Instead of sharing wealth to children when I die, I will establish a trust. Do you know Rolex is a trust? It has a trust. The descendants or whoever started Rolex, they don't pay taxes because they give them dividends. It's a trust. I will turn all these businesses I am running to a trust. My children will get dividends from them. But it will remain beyond me. Beyond me. So the reality on ground determines what you will do. The next thing is that I will beg of you, when somebody tells you one thing or the other, take time to analyze it. Don't just be an echo. Try as much as possible to analyze, assimilate it, analyze it, question it, interrogate it. You will see in church, one of the problems I have with Christianity is that people just copy things. If you shout the loudest amen, you get the biggest miracle. So how does deaf and dumb get miracle? Deaf and dumb that can't talk, but God still hears them and heals them. That's the truth of the matter. I don't just copy things. I do things, I interrogate things, I question them. After I've questioned them, then I choose the one that fits my lifestyle. Even the wife I'm married to, I don't always agree with her. She does not always agree with me, but she has known how God works with me, and I have known how to work with her, and she has known how to work with me. I thank you so much for spending time with me this afternoon. I will beg of you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you from Benin. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Charles Apoki. And then go to my ebook shop, petrapublications.com. petrapublications.com. One word. And then you can reach me on WhatsApp 07+234 7052136763. I remain your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. God bless you. Help me share this. Let it go viral. Thank you so much. I'll speak to you again if I have another inspiration. God bless you.